Okay, I think we're good here. Good. Okay. I am going to adjust this a little bit. Just a little bit. I think I was kind of looking at the VOD from the last stream, and it was a little loud. For me, at least. What about y'all? But I think this should be a little bit better. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Age of Empires. Tonight, we're going to be looking at another... Oh, gosh, I messed it up. I messed it up again. The only reason I'm concerning myself with this very much is because I will be putting these up on YouTube. And so I don't want to be looking like a dingleberry up here. That should be good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Age of Empires. Tonight, we're going to be looking at a couple more group stage games. Tonight, we are watching FloosWorld, here in the red, playing as the Goths, against FriD. FriD? FriD? I kind of like FriD. I'm not sure if that's correct, but I'm going to say FriD is correct, and we might just go with Fry and Flu, because I kind of like those for later on anyway. But Fry in the blue playing as the Byzantines. Classic colors, classic civs on Mountain Pass, which nomadic Mountain Pass? I must be missing something. I don't know if I am, but this is Mountain Pass Nomad start. So your villagers start. Sorry, you start with 3 villagers around the map, and then and the extra resources necessary to make a town center. So instead of starting the game with the town center and 3 villagers, you instead start with just the villagers and the resources necessary to make one, and then you go from there. And it looks like we're honestly going to be seeing a pretty standard start. Yeah, okay, so Flu puts his houses up here, and Fry's going to be a little bit quicker to the 70. Actually, they're going to have town centers go up at pretty much the exact same time. I wonder if that's because Red started building his sooner. Anyway, point is, Flu puts his houses down, and so Fry's going to have to do that immediately. And it's going to look like a pretty standard start from this point on for these 2 players. So they have some hunt around their bases. But what's really neat about this map, I actually really like Mountain Pass. Excuse me. I die over here. I actually really like Mountain Pass. I played a few games on this recently with some friends, and it's a really neat kind of adaptation map that's still pretty standard. It's neat because, well, because there's mountains, so it's very hilly, and there's a lot of advantage you can get, height advantage you can get on the high points on the map. And there's hunt up on top, so you can mill the deer if you want. There's quite a bit of hunt around the map up on the snowy mountain tops, and then that's where most of the woodline is as well. So once these guys get established, we're probably going to see mills go up here, and yeah, we'll be cooking. That board looked like it was really loud. You know what? I'm not going to concern myself with it. I'm not going to worry about it. We're just going to go on as normal. So you do have some trees around here. They chose, honestly, they chose town center spots that look like they could be normal generations for like a normal map, not nomadic start, like a normal start. Because there's wood, there's gold, there's berries, and then, well, I guess there's kind of berries everywhere, and there's also kind of wood patches and gold everywhere as well. Okay, never mind, never mind. Just ignore that. But it does honestly, especially this one looks like it's a normal generation. It's got right next to a couple straggler trees, as it were, and then the berries here as well. Fried, gonna go ahead and fried. You know what? I bet it's fried. Fried seems like the natural way to say it, so I'm gonna go with fried. Fried is gonna go ahead and put his mill down and get started here on the berries. So Flu playing as the Goths. Obviously, everyone knows this civilization front to back. This is the infantry civ, right? They have cheap units. They've got the Huskarl that's got the fastest recruit time in the game, with the barracks working 20% faster, plus oh no, what's the castle tech? What is it? The hands. Oh, what's it called? Oh no, how am I forgetting this? Conscription. Okay, so yeah. So the Goths bonus plus conscription plus perfusion makes the barracks work extremely fast, and then anarchy allows their unique unit, the Huskarl, to be trained at the barracks. So they can pump out units late game. Goths are extremely scary late game. And on the other hand, FriD, I'm gonna be saying all sorts of different pronunciations of this guy's name. Fried, in the blue, playing as the Byzantines. They're also really strong late game. I think they don't ramp up quite as fast. I think if you're talking about late imp, the Byzantines do better, but they don't ramp up quite as fast as I would say the Goths could. The Goths can get a castle up, they can get anarchy in castle age, and they can start making Huskarl really soon. And the Huskarl is a cheap unit to begin with, but then on top of that, infantry costs get discounted more and more heavily as you go into the later game. So 15, 20, 25, and 30%. It's just a strong civ. And then extra pop space in Imperial Age. So 210 total pop space in late game means they get a little bit of an edge. They can have an army that's just that much bigger. And I forgot. Oh, I forgot. I meant to not forget, but I did. And we're just going to watch for a second while I make some quick adjustments here. I meant to pull up these guys' ELO, or at least the ELO range for this set. This shouldn't be this hard to pull up. Bada bing. Bada boom. Okay. Let's see here. We are in K. We want blue and fried. I'm saying fried. Okay, so both of these guys are sitting right around 900 elo. So this is gonna be closer to home for me. Okay. I have a lot of fun watching these guys that are super good at the game, but this is definitely gonna feel you know, a little bit more of my speed in terms of these guys and their skill level. It's gonna feel a little bit more comfortable. I'm probably gonna be seeing stuff that I might do or wouldn't do. Then again, you never know. You always get surprised. For example, pre-walling your wood line, fried, already on point here. This is something, well, maybe I shouldn't say this because I'm playing in this tournament, although I can always correct it. Anyway, the point is that I forget to pre-wall my wood line a lot of the time, especially because if you don't put villagers on it, like if you put 3 villagers on here, I'm always like, well, is it worth walling up 3 vills? You know, like, no, I feel like it's not. It probably is, but I always feel like it's not. And so I don't. And I get punished for it a lot. But fried, saying, nope, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to pre-wall. He's going to get pikes out, or spearmen out, and go for the feudal age stable. So scout opening from fried. And for Flu as well, looks like. He's got the stable out as well. In fact, I already missed this. So 2 scouts already coming out for Flu. Checking for a blacksmith, so no blacksmith yet. So Flu's already going to come out with scouts, but FriD's going to see this, and he's going to have the spearmen ready to defend. So honestly, really well played from both. This is a really quick scout opening from Flu, and honestly, something you might not expect from a Goth player. But FriD responding with a really good play in kind. He's already got the pikes out, the spearmen out. So he's not going to get a lot of damage, not going to be forced into much idle economy from that either. And Flu, just going to opt to go ahead and smack to the house, barge through this poor family's home, hit their windows, yell at their kids, you know, who else? These guys are just rude. You can just tell, you know, they're just like, we're just going to beat up on these guys. Okay, so the family inside the house must have reasoned with them enough to make them leave, because the scouts leave. Or maybe it was the fear of the Pokey Boy with the pike. And up in the north, I missed this, but FriD's scout is going to come find some damage on Flu's villagers up here, but no kills, just a little bit of damage, a little bit of eco, and the loomed up villagers band together to bring him down. Okay, so something else to note, Flu is also going to be gathering some sheep here with these scouts that he's moving around FriD's base with. Flu's gonna have to watch the house. He'll be housed in just one villager, and he's gonna feel that. But the houses come out. No worries there. Blacksmith is up, so he can either get upgrades. He grabs Town Watch and Fletching. Okay, so archery range now from Flu. And FriD doesn't know about this, right? He doesn't. Oh, maybe he. Wait a minute. On the wrong button. Am I stupid? Okay, he did see the foundation, I guess. Okay, so never mind. He does see the archery range. So he knows that there's potential archers coming out from Flu. Honestly, I might have liked to see like an archery range back here, or, you know, over here or something, that a little bit out of the way, because if I'm playing against someone as a Goths, or if I'm playing against a Goth player, I'm honestly with you, I'm not going to expect archers. I'm really not. And I mean, they get Bracer, but they don't get Arb, you know. Well, actually, they're not bad to tech into at all. But you don't see archers super often from the Goths, at least at my level, at least at this level that I've seen. That being said, FriD walling up pretty well. He only has spearmen to protect against this, so the spearmen are going to be able to deal with the scouts for now. But this is fletching in on the archers and the leather armor. So, or padded armor. Is the next one leather? I always just say leather because all the backgrounds for this upgrade look like leather. But yeah, the archer upgrades are going to come in for these guys, and they're going to find some damage. They're going to push FriD's farms off of this mill. FriD's farmers off of this mill, rather. And there's a hole right here next to the market. Oh, that's brutal. It's not that big of a deal because he wasn't fully walled. It would be so tragic if he gets fully walled and was playing with the confidence of being fully walled and then took the damage from that. But Skirm is now going to come out from FriD. Now these are, it's a late response, right? So Flu actually finding some good value here from these archers. Mostly just killing the pikes. He's only killed one villager, but FriD, even though the archer range comes in when the archers are already in his base, the Byzantines get cheap trash units, so they cost 25% less. So the skirmishers are really cheap, really easy for him to make more and mass those up. And here in a few skirmishers, I expect these archers to not have much of a leg to stand on. No upgrades in though for the archers, and they do have the hill, so with good micro, Flu could pull off some pretty good damage against these guys. But the tower's going to come in, force him off the wood line, and protect FriD's wood line. And for the time being, archers are forced to just circle around. Castle Age, though, going to hit in a minute for Flu. This is a really strong opening. This is really well played from the guy in red. Gosh, I'm actually really curious to know what he's going to go for here. So he's got 4 on stone. This isn't enough to be able to put a castle down as soon as you hit castle age, but he may not be too concerned about that. Maybe he's just trying to get that town center down. Extra town centers, maybe he's going to try to boom behind this. But the skirms are starting to mass up for FriD as he also clicks up to the castle age. He's going to see this castle age hit for Flu, and he's going to think, okay, I've got to push him back a little bit. I've got to create a little bit of pressure because if you see your opponent hit castle age and you're still on the way up, or you've freshly clicked up, it could mean rough things if you're not able to counterattack a little bit and find some damage of your own. Flu doing a good job of using this hunt up here. FriD gonna finish off his Woodline's wall there as he overchops. And so it's now night production, double night production, going to come in for Flu. So it's a pretty brutal unit composition right now. Flu does have 6 on gold, and he's going to be able to keep up with the production here. He's going to go for crossbowman, and double night production is going to cost a lot of gold. He might need more. Yeah, in case he puts some more on gold. I'm actually curious to know if he's rallying these guys to the gold, but with pikes or spearmen, FriD's going to be able to deal with this pretty well, but the upgrades are already coming in for the knights, and these spearmen don't have upgrades. They do have numbers though, so that's gonna hurt. But what's also gonna hurt is the crossbowman from Flu. He has not gotten Bodkin Arrow yet, and Elite Skirmisher is gonna come in for FriD, but he's still missing the blacksmith upgrades. Does FriD actually have a blacksmith? I don't think FriD has a blacksmith yet. Okay, so upgrades are gonna be lacking. He's gonna have to depend on these unit upgrades for the time being, while Flu is going to be able to just mass up this army. I was wondering about this. You can't have villager production and double night production and have enough villagers on gold to be able to get archers going out at the same time. So the production building efficiency is not going to be super high for him. Pikeman and Elite Skirm comes in. And the numbers aren't super high here. It's a lot of pikemen, and well, it's a lot of knights with upgrades. But it's a lot of pikemen, and it's elite skirms, and it's only 6 archers, you know, only 6 crossbowmen. So even if these 2 armies fought, I wouldn't be able to say one way or the other which would definitely win. I'd say probably the knights. You know, there's lots of numbers, and it's a strong castle age unit. But again, pikes and skirms are really cheap for the Byzantines, so he's able to. FriD's gonna be able to pump these out like crazy. He's not gonna see this castle go up from Flu though, and Flu gonna try to force an encounter here, get some pressure on, make something happen in the background or the foreground. This is the foreground we're watching. So the castle's gonna go up from Flu. And now you have a Goth castle in the middle of the map, taking map control. Both characters putting a second TC down. Characters? Did I just say characters? Both players putting a second TC down. But now, Blue has the ability to make Huskarl. And Huskarl are going to be able to get in and deal damage against the pikemen and absolutely crush the skirms because they have that high pierce armor. This is an anti-archer. It's a fast-moving anti-archer infantry unit. And I think, honestly, the lack of upgrades is what's hurting him the most. FriD's played a really good game so far. This has been really clean, a good defense. He's had the units he needs to be able to fight this back. But, man, without upgrades, there's not a whole lot he's going to be able to do, I think, against this. He does some walling to protect the castle villagers. And if he can repair that, It's gonna go well, but the palisade's gonna go down. Oh, okay, really well played. Oh no. Oh no, okay, so the house tries to block the knights out, but the knights are gonna find a hole behind it, and now more crossbowmen gonna come in, and the Huskarl are out from the castle. Oh no. FriD's castle is gonna get denied at 85%. Blacksmith is finally in, and foraging is gonna come in, but there are no pikemen on the field for that to apply to. Blue, in the meantime, has been able to keep up the villager production from both town centers and take a 10 villager lead. FriD's going to delete the castle, but he's not going to get a whole lot of stone back from that. Ironically, it's just enough to make a third town center if he wants to, which he will. He's getting a town center back here on the wood. But now he's under pretty intense pressure. And there is a hole in the front of his base, so the knights and the Huskarls are going to be able to get in. This is 10+1 on the Huskarl. They're going to deal a lot of damage. And they're going to be able to get under the town center for a long time. Look at all the pierce armor they have. 6+1. The town center only deals 7. I guess that's, what is that, 7 per arrow maybe? I don't actually know what the numbers are on that. Point is, it's a high pierce armor unit, and that means they can chill under a town center for a long time. Man-at-Arms going to try to come in here for FriD, and this is the correct counter, right? You need militia of your own, militia line of your own to be able to fight these back. Champions destroy Huskarl. They don't do well. They're not a very high health unit. They don't do well against other infantry, but the problem is getting there for FriD at this point. Long swordsman now going to come in. And he's got the barracks. He's got 3 and 4 on the way. The 5th one on the way. So he's going to make the production. And it's siege now. 2 mangonel in queue for Flu. He's got map control. He's in its opponent's base. He's got to be feeling good about this at this point. And FriD, he's getting the upgrades, but he still doesn't have the actual unit production. Now he's got a ton in... Okay, no, yeah, okay, yeah. Now he's got a ton in queue. He's going to start to make these units. They still only have forging. I'd love to see the rest of his upgrades come in. But he's going to need skirms along with this as well. He has 2 in this archery range garrisoned. But it's a ton of idle eco from FriD. He's just having to work in so many different places at once. Now the numbers are going to start to come in pretty quickly for him if he can keep the production up. But he's off of the gold until he can get to this. The knights are in, the Huskarl have been in, and now it's mangonel. But FriD has longswordsmen over here, and he's going to be able to walk through the hole and easily take care of the mangonels and easily take care of the Huskarl. Actually comparing the stats, and the Huskarl do more damage. They deal more damage, and they have the same melee armor, infantry armor upgrades. So in a 1 versus 1, I'm not sure which one wins. I think the Huskarl does. For now, he's going to be able to fight off Blue's army. Knights are going to try to come in here to raid. Walking under the town center. And they're going to find some damage here. Kill 1 villager. But there's really nowhere for them to go. It's now 3 town centers here for FriD. And it's covering a lot of the resources that he needs. He's taking advantage of these berries. But he's got a lot of wood floating. Second castle here in the back of Flu's base, playing this safe, and he's just keeping on that stone. He's going to be able to drop a 3rd castle, which will go down. here in the front, right in front of FriD's base. But FriD does have army, but it's all foot soldiers. And there's 4 Scorpions now here from Flu with the Knights and the Huskarl. And I'm just worried with the Scorpions that it's not going to be enough to deny this castle. There's not that many villagers building it, but the army from FriD is just not what he needs to be able to deny this. So a monk now in queue from Flu. 2 Mangonel is going to be coming out pretty soon. And what in the world? The Huskarl are freaking out. They're on something. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there, but they're on something. Okay, FriD trying to find gold over here, but he's actually got gold back here as well. I'm not sure if he sees that. He might not have noticed it. This is much safer than the gold here in the front. But then, on the other side of that coin, I feel like Flu would never look over here for villagers mining gold, so maybe it's a meta move. Either way, it's Scorpions, it's Mangonels, Huskarl, and Knights. I mean, it's a dangerous unit composition, and Imperial Age is clicked for Flu. Welcome in, X. Welcome in. This is game 1. Blues played a pretty good game. I mean, honestly, he went for scouts early and then straight into archers. And as a Goth player, I gotta wonder if FriD, I mean, he did a good job of getting pikes out early for the scouts, but I don't think he expected the archers from Flu, and I can't blame him. I mean, archers from the Goths. Oh no, and a really unfortunate Mangonel shot's gonna absolutely hammer his own pikes. Mangonel's gonna go down from the Knights. But they're gonna be found by the pikemen. And so now, defensive castle in the back of FriD's base. It may just be me. Just in case. It seems loud. I actually have water this time, not Dr. Pepper. Believe it or not. Okay, so the town center is going to go down for FriD, which isn't necessarily a huge deal. He's been able, with the 3 town centers, he's been able to catch up to Flu's villager count. And now he's got a castle, which means he can make the Cataphract, which is an extremely powerful unit. It's got a lot of HP. And it counters anti-cav units. It's going to absolutely crush the Huskarl. But obviously, Flu, 10 seconds away from Imperial Age, he's going to be able to just make a couple trebs. And without Imperial Age, without an army, FriD's going to have a hard time clawing back to a victory here. He somehow has a villager lead this late in the game, and yep, 2 trebuchets is going to be in queue for Flu, and lots of Scorpions on the field. Huskarl just going to sit back, relax. Flu under absolutely no pressure at all right now, able to play his game. He's going to pick up conscription. And oh man, the pikemen coming through in the choke. And the Scorpion is actually moving towards them. Oh wow, okay, wow. They all fired at once. And there goes FriD's entire group of pikemen. That was brutal. The Cataphract massing up, I actually really like this. I mean, if you're gonna want any chance at winning this game, any chance, you can't trickle units. You kind of need Imperial Age or Rams or something, you know? Actually, I'm gonna be honest, Rams wouldn't be a bad idea. Blue has Scorpions, I mean, like 1 Mangonel and a few Rams, plus the Cataphracts. Most of Flu's army is siege. But I mean, I'm I'm trying to see a way out. I'm trying to find a way out for for FriD at this point, but he might just be that at this point in the game. He might just be FriD. Cataphracts are gonna go left here. Okay, so he might actually try for a counter raid with these cataphracts, which I love. I love that. You got to pull your opponent's attention. You can't let him control the entire game. And now he's going for a defensive castle. It's going to cover his gold and his wood line. But the problem is, he's not an Imperial Age. He's going to try to click up here pretty soon as his Byzantine cataphracts get closer to FloosWorld's economy. FloosWorld's economy, rather. But he click ups with Imperial Age. Holy cow. Okay. So he's going to go for it. Blast Furnace in. Yeah. No, I was going to say, I mean, you're exactly right, X. Like, this is... there's not really a ton you can do. It's so hard to come back from this, but he's making the right call. He's going to try to get up to Imperial Age. He's massing up some units. He's trying to get the cataphracts out. His first castle has gone down, though. He's going to keep trying to make cataphracts, and he's got the hill. But these Huskarl, they have their upgrades, and oh, man, Anarchy's now going to come in. Flu can get Refusion if he wants to and just flood the map with Huskarl. Somehow, FriD has a 10 villager lead. Well, maybe this is how, actually, because he's destroying Flu's economy back here. Flu is not on gold in the back of his base. His only gold is here in the middle. But it's just so many Scorpions and so much siege. While that on massive units, you can't really do anything there, and the town center is going to take care of the cataphracts back in Flu's base. As FriD goes for a fourth town center up here, I mean, he's got so many resources. He's playing this as well as he can. He wants to keep playing at this point. He needs to spread across the map for a chance to... Oh yeah, you're exactly right. That's exactly what he's doing. I mean, he's doing a good job. At this point, I wonder, you know, you're 18 on gold. Keep up the cataphract production. Maybe you keep your castle alive. Maybe you buy stone and you just do a castle drop, like... I don't know. Where do you even... Where? I don't know if you can. I don't know if that's an option. Because he's got the... Flu played this really smart and safe. He put the defensive castle way back in his base when he didn't have to. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of idle eco here for FriD. I mean, he is everything but dead at this point. Town center after town center are going to go down. And 5 cataphracts is the entirety of FriD's army. He's picking up his first cavalry armor. So the Bodkin arrow crossbowmen are going to be able to kill these. Right? Good grief. Jeez, they got so much health. I mean, I guess they have less than a knight, but still, it just seems like a ton of health. Cataphract is a really cool unit, so I'm always extra impressed by it. Knights raiding, Huskarls in their base. FriD trying to build a barracks, trying to hold on to some semblance of hope that he can pull this out. But a 10, 20, heck, even a 30 villager lead at this point, with this kind of map control that Flu has, is not going to change a whole lot. He already has the army presence. It's 46-0. I mean, he's picking up Bracer at this point. He's Goths. Like, what's going on? The 5 trebuchets here are going to bring this town center down pretty quickly. FriD, 18 villagers making houses. He's desperate at this point. Yep, town center is immediately gone. These 2 back here that Flu didn't quite see are still alive, but he knows there's farming back here. Now FriD, he's gonna try to put a castle up here on the hill, and he's in Imperial Age, and he has a lot of villagers. Like, you gotta wonder, is there any way back? You know, yeah, no army equals no chance. I mean, I'm with you. That's 100% the case. Light cavalry now coming in from Flu. He's picking up everything he can. He has the villagers, but what are they doing? Not a whole lot. Now it's villagers versus Huskarl. The Huskarl will go down, but he's gonna take 2 villagers down with him. He finally dies. The fastest town center you've ever seen built. And now FriD is on stone and wood on Flu's wood line. And Flu's just like, okay, where is the army? What's going on? Where is his eco? Where is the rest of this guy? Skrulls are gonna come in. Does Flu have perfusion? He does. Oh no. And barracks. I'd like to see this build speed, actually. It's not gonna... I don't know if he's gonna make any more. He's just putting a castle here. Not that it's gonna protect a whole lot, since this was 100% eco. The castle did go up for FriD back in the back of his base. But I'm sorry, I mean, Hussar kind of come in. FriD picking up conscription, but I'm not sure what he's going to use it for at this point in the game. The castle from Flu has bracer, so it's going to range this gold very easily from FriD. He's not going to be able to take that gold. And the Hussar, if not the castle, will be able to kill the villagers. In fact, Flu might... Oh no, FriD's gonna lead him back to the castle. The Hussar are gonna see the castle and the extra stable. So he's gonna know there's a castle back here. And, yeah. Trebuchets are on their way. Grief. It's the death parade. The Huskarl. They don't even care. They don't even care about these guys. Let them mine the let them mine the gold. Let them mine their last few coins. Their last few scraps of gold. Cataphract slays the bleeding Hussar. Is gonna push these villagers on the gold, but I mean, it's Cavalier now. He's got murder holes. Murder holes isn't gonna do a whole lot with 5 trebuchets lining up to demolish your tower. FriD drops the walls so the cataphracts can immediately get in. The scorpions are gonna be in range soon. Skarl are gonna reach him. He brings the one down. And he tries to bring another. Can he do it? He doesn't. And he calls it GG. Yeah, I mean, well played. Well played from both. You gotta hand it to FriD. He played well in the beginning. They both played well in the beginning. But honestly, I think Flu just came out of nowhere with archers. That surprised me. And so if it surprised me, it wouldn't surprise me if it surprised FriD. That was a really roundabout way of saying it, but yeah, these scouts into archers, you don't expect that from Goths. So really well played from Flu, forcing FriD to adapt, just taking control of the map, taking control of the game, making the game go at his pace. Gets up to Imp, gets the trebuchets, has the massive army, and is able to just walk through and finish up what's left of FriD's base. Really well played from Flu. GG's. All right, let's see real quick. We're going to hop over to the other game, the second game here. We want low versus game 2. Okay, give me 2 seconds and we'll start up the next game. Okay, let's get into it. What in the heck am I doing? What? All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the FriD versus FloosWorld Play All 2 set. So we're in the Group K group stage of the Age of Empires League Season 15. I said that so wrong. The AoE Leagues Season 15. This has been a super fun group stage to watch so far. And game one from these guys was just honestly brutal. I mean, brutal's not the right word. The word I'm looking for is unfortunate, I guess. FloosWorld played Goths and FriD was Byzantines. I think late game, absolutely, it goes all Byzantines. In my opinion, I think the Byzantines do get the advantage in late game, providing that they both are able to expand and get into late game with like equal footing. But FloosWorld opened with scouts into archers, and I think it just threw FriD off enough. It kind of put him on his back foot, and he was forced onto his back foot for the rest of the game. So FloosWorld was able to take control, take map control, and played a really strong game as the Goths. But now on Arabia, and you know what? I don't have this. I'm going to pull it up real quick. I have it right here. Floos was Mountain Pass. Okay, so the last game, game one, was FloosWorld's home map. And now we are on Arabia, which is FriD's pick. In Arabia, we all know this map. We all love this map. Well, we all know this map. Maybe we don't all love it, but we do all know this map. I love this map. And okay, yeah. So X in chat saying Jurchens have killer step lancers, so I'll be looking for that. Honestly, the Jurchens have a lot of cool weapons. Their step lancers are insane. So FloosWorld, to get our introductions out of the way, playing in the red, here in the Jurchens, or playing in the red as the Jurchens, I should say, and then FriD in the blue playing as the Japanese. And I have a feeling I know what's going to come here. If he's picking Japanese and he's picking Arabia, I have a feeling I know what's going to be coming here, but we'll get to that in a second. We'll start off with the guest on this home map is FloosWorld playing as their Jurchens, and they have a lot of benefits. Okay, so hunted meat on the ground essentially doesn't decay, so they get more food from that. All mounted units attack faster. Did I read that right? I thought that used to be light cavalry only, but all mounted units and fire lancers start attacking faster in feudal age. So that benefit hits immediately. And on Arabia, on the DE version of Arabia, you know, it's feudal age into castle age most times, especially at this level. I think at the level that I play at, which is like barely above this. I mean, you can't really even say it's above this at all. It's at like this 1,000, like 800, 1,000 and around there. From what I've experienced, is that that's typically how this goes. I mean, Arabia generates so many generous wood lines most of the time that it's really easy to wall. It's really easy to get to Castle Age. So it usually is a Castle Age or late game map. That's a lot of ranting about the map, but the point is that Feudal Age essentially is the beginning of the game. That's what I'm trying to say. And so, wow, all mounted units attack faster for the Jurchens. That's really strong. Siege Engineers comes in for the Castle Age. Now that applies to the Grenadier, I believe, and I think that's why. Do they benefit from Siege Engineers? I think they do. I've always assumed it does. Don't quote me on that. But the next thing I was going to say was they get the Grenadier in Castle Age, which is a grenade thrower. They throw grenades that deal splash damage. So grouped up mass Grenadier is a lot of fun to see, actually, as both players get housed. It's a lot of fun to see. And so I'm wondering if we might see, Grenadier here from FloosWorld, but he might not want to do something so risky because he just lost his scout. He is on his way up to the Feudal Age, and FriD checks up as well. But yeah, without the scout, without that information, that's going to be crucial. So if FriD takes advantage of that, he's going to be able to get a lot of scouting from FloosWorld and see what he's doing where FloosWorld can't do the same towards him unless he makes a pike or something and tries to get some information with that. But that's mostly it from the Jurchens. They get the Iron Pagoda, which I believe blocks the first hit they receive entirely from melee damage, which is an insane charged. It's not a charged attack, but it's like a charged block, I think. I'm pretty sure. Maybe it's a lifetime thing. Like they only get it once per life. That seems silly. But other than that, Siege research is faster. They've got Siege, they've got fast firing, fast attacking Cav, and it looks like stable. It looks like Cav is what FloosWorld is going to go for. And okay, yeah, it took forever to get to this, but yeah, X saying Japanese have a lot of options, which is, dude, they are absolutely killer. They have so many options. They're so cool on Arabia. I love the Japanese, dude. They've got some sick options. What I really like to see actually is late game, seeing Yasuma and seeing the like absolutely beastly towers. I think in King of the Desert, I forget who it was, but I was watching the King of the Desert tournament recently, and one of the guys played Japanese, and I think maybe it was Nikov, but the point is that they were just like lining the map with these towers that were absolutely laser cannons. I mean, nothing could get to them, and he was just putting the Cataparuto trebuchets right on the towers and just literally pushing with trebs and towers. It was insane. It was so cool. It was really, really, really neat to see. But back to the strategy that I said I was going to talk about like an hour ago. The Japanese have a really strong drush or frush, a Feudal Age rush with men-at-arms. The Japanese infantry attack 33% faster in Feudal Age, and with arson, that can get through buildings. That can be a real pain, and they can really find some damage in the Feudal Age. The Spearman's going to come out for Flu, and he's going to see the men-at-arms now. He's going to try to do some blocking, and he's going to do a good job microing here. Honestly, mega props to him for that. That's something that I miss all the time. And the men-at-arms are lacking upgrades, so they're not going to have the armor. And I was going to say, FloosWorld might be able to just fight this and kill him. He does have Loom on the villagers. I would say he would be able to, but chooses to back off. So these guys are finding a lot of value, forcing him off the berries, forcing Flu off his wood line. And now it's Scout's going to start to get massed from Flu. They're going to be able to chase these men-at-arms down. They might be able to actually kill... No, he micros the weak Scout away. Really well played. You know what? That'd be insane if the sneak men-at-arms is able to kill the last Scout. Oh my gosh, really well played from Flu. Keeps the Scout alive. He sees it just in time. Okay, so yeah, that's what I was assuming is men-at-arms, because the Japanese, in my experience, are really strong on Arabia with a proper feudal age rush. But it's gonna be shut down. So Flu's gonna have some scouts out, and these guys are attacking faster now that he's in the feudal age. Yeah, 2-0, but Flu still has the villager lead. See, I would say, yeah, you're saying it would probably worth it, and I'm with you, but I think it's got to be worth it. And sorry, what am I trying to say? It's got to be worth it. Of course, it's got to be worth it. What I'm saying is, oh man, oh Flu not watching. He doesn't even. Okay, he does now. I was about to say he doesn't see the villager. The villager's gonna go down. What I was gonna say was, you need to create value there, and he did create a lot of value with those units. But he has over 2 minutes of idle TC now. I think his economy transition was just not as smooth as he was maybe hoping it to be, because he's late to food, which means he's way behind on villagers. If they both had villager production, this would have set him ahead in a really nice way, but Flu's done a good job of keeping up the villager production. He's walling up. The walls are finished, and oh no, he walls in, or I guess walls out the units from FriD. So well played, quick walls there from Flu, and he's going to keep those units out. So Flu's now walled up, and FriD's making spearmen. Do the spearmen attack faster? Infantry, yeah. So the spearmen are going to spell doom real quick for the urchin player here, for these scouts. And I think FriD's making the right decision here. He's just going to keep going, putting pressure up on these walls, trying to find a hole, poke his way in. But Flu's got the wood. I mean, he's got what he needs to be able to house wall pretty quickly. And FriD's going to try to finish up these walls. It's a little bit of an unfortunate map for him over here. It's a long way to that tree line. And it's also pretty open over here. Honestly, it's not a fantastic map for either player. I mean, it's not a fantastic map for either player. I'd say it's probably better for Flu, just because the tree line is a little bit more natural, easy to wall. But he's being forced to make a large wall on the back of his base, which is very open. There's a lot of room back here. He did not take the hunt, by the way. And neither did FriD. But both players, not with the best maps. And FriD's still open back here. I'd like to see a palisade or a house right here, which forces the scout to have to go under the town center to get to these villagers. If not, just wall themselves in completely. It's only 4 of them. But FriD's going to pull the spearman over. He has the mill with the extra farms. He likes to do this. We saw this last game. But now the pikes are out of position. Blue's not going to find any value yet. He's going to force the villagers off the farm, which is value in and of itself. Wow, okay, so Flu double palisade walling and now stone walling back here. This is definitely a decision. And, I mean, I can sit here and mock it all day, but it's going to keep these units out, so it's going to work. Oh, I missed this. Okay, so Flu, really well played here from FriD. Forces Flu to pay attention up here, have to put the house down, have to pay attention to this. And in the meantime, his scouts get killed by FriD's pikes. So FriD's going to be able to get some downtime. He's going to be able to breathe a little bit, maybe finish his walls up, and work more on his eco. In fact, he's going to be way faster to Castle Age. Okay, so this is really well played from FriD. I'm just not seeing this. X saying sloppy, but the idle TC is a thing to fix. Absolutely, yeah. I mean, this is like at this stage in the game. With this level, and again, I'm saying this as if I'm like the super high level player. I'm not, but I'm trying to work on those fundamentals, and the fundamentals I'm trying to work on are like economy, timings, like pulling villagers off of sheep onto wood line as they die, instead of instead of it being like, okay, you've got, you know, 11, 12, 13 villagers on food under your TC, and then all the food's gone suddenly. And now you've got to figure out what to do with the villagers. Instead of that, you know, slowly moving them, being a little bit more efficient with timing and economy transitions. I'm really trying to be better about that right now. And then economy, sorry, idle TC. That's huge. That is huge. You've got to keep making villagers. You've just got to. If you're not making villagers, you are losing. You're falling behind. So yeah, I mean, that's definitely basically top of the list. As FriD's units are going to keep moving around, he's going to pick up fletching. And he did see the archers shoot his units. I'm assuming he saw the archers shoot his units, Flu's archers. So I'm wondering if he's going to go straight for skirms. Then again, wow. Okay, he must have had wood that I didn't see because he just put 4 archery ranges down and a blacksmith. And he's still got 400 in the bank. Okay, well, you know what? Resource efficiency is another thing, but this is one way to be efficient. Just spend it all. And he's going to hit Castle Age 2 minutes ahead of Flu. So, Cav Archers? The Japanese get extra damage versus ranged soldiers. So, extra damage versus archers in the Castle Age with their Cav Archers. So, I'm assuming he's going to go for Cav Archers here. Hopefully not. I mean, he can afford it. Wow, he can actually get a lot of Cav Archers out on the map very quickly. Just trying to be annoying back here. This is really well played. You know what? Actually, he really must have made Flu panic back there because Flu is way behind on Castle Age. And he put stone walls down. He forced him into stone walls, which is expensive. I mean, that's a lot of stone you can't use. That's usually crucial to have. Usually you can either put a town center down and sell the other 100 for gold once you hit the Castle Age, or you put 2 town centers down, or you sell both of it. But when you use any of it, you need 100 of those resources to sell it at all. And so I think he really made him panic by putting those stone walls down, getting these infantry out just to be annoying. And sure enough, Cav Archers here from FriD. Yeah, I love it. Japanese Cav Archers are hype. This is actually really cool because Flu, he's going for archers. Okay, I mean, I say he's going for archers. He has 2. He's not making any more. And, alright, well, as if to disprove my point, he's on double barracks fire lancers and step lancers now. But, I mean, dude, Japanese Cav Archers dominate. And he does have bodkin arrow. Okay, this guy FriD, he picks Arabia, and he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing on this map. He has a game plan. And Flu's gonna see this. He's trying to chase these units down from FriD. Now, I mean, yikes. So, Jurchin Step Lancers, to your point, X, I mean, these guys are brutal. They are brutal units, but oh man. Oh man, being full walled back here on 1 TC, FriD's gonna be able to really take off. He's really gonna be able to take off. I don't love 4 archery ranges. I mean, I don't love it. I don't hate it. I mean, he's not gonna be able to use them. What I would do in this position is I would maybe use 2 or 3. I put a 3rd town center down. Get your villager to go pick up 5 stone. And okay, he's going to go get some more stone. Not sure what villagers are going to do that, but he is going to put a mining camp down. He's going to try to get some more stone. I would have loved to see another town center to go down. You've got the farming. I think this is close to enough to have constant villager production through 3 town centers, and then you use your wood and your gold just to mass tons and tons of Cav Archers. But this is really well played. Bodkin Arrow is going to give him the range to be able to pressure this wood line. He can pressure this wood line. He can pressure the gold. He can pressure the stone. And that's it. That's all Flu has. I mean, he's shutting himself in here with these stone walls. Is that a hole? Oh, it's a hole. Oh no, it's a hole. Oh no. No armor on these cav archers, so they're not going to be able to afford to go into the town center, but they are in. They don't care about the town center. Oh man, they're going to be able to get to this wood line. It's going to be a villager harvest. Fire lances are in. Holy smokes. X, thinking about this a bit, I think Floos would ideally have a castle and go Iron Pagoda. I 100% agree. 100%. That's the answer. But, I mean, wow. FriD. Talk about a comeback. He said, I didn't want to lose that first game like that. I'm winning this thing. He comes back. He hits Castle Age in record time. That's maybe patronizing. I didn't mean that to be patronizing. He hits Castle Age in a really good time with plus all the pressure that he was trying to put on. The record time, you just forget that I said that. The point is, he hits Castle Age way ahead of his opponent, 2 minutes ahead of his opponent. He's able to get the cav archers out and put the pressure on really fast. And honestly, man, finding this hole, so Flu must have just not seen him. Wait a second. Okay, so he was shooting that. So yeah, well played from FriD, keeping up the distractions, and Flu just not putting a wall down in time. FriD's going to get into his base, find the economy, and Flu just sees there's nothing I can do. He's got units up here, but I mean, he sees that there's nothing he can do at this point, and his villagers are about to get massacred. Calls the GG. Wow. Well played from FriD, man. Holy smokes. Really well played from FriD. That was a great game. Great game. Love to see the callouts too. X calling out these step lancers from Flu, and then both of us thinking of the cav archers from the from the Japanese is a lot of fun. Yeah, well played the FriD, and the series goes 2-2. They both share a point. Well played, gentlemen. Well played. GG's. Okay, let's see. It's 9 o'clock. I need to see about this.